Welcome to New York Studios, where you can watch us make the news. Today I'm with Jenny Young. Now, Jenny's had such an interesting career. She started off as a banker, in finance, computer science, and now you're involved in the Beautiful Life Development Plan. Could you perhaps tell me a little bit more about this, and how did you get started in that?
Well, I started off in the Red Cross since I was 13-year-old. So all these years I've been doing a lot of social work in addition to my usual core life of business and banking and finance, and later on become in the arts field as well. So my life mission has expanded when I realized that I have accumulated a lot of resources. I just want to dedicate a part of it for the social causes.
Okay.
So back in 2006, when I was in New York, I started bringing the best world talent to China for cross-cultural events with kids from Sweden, entertaining and performing with kids from China that are some of the best. And then during the earthquake before the Olympics, I ended up with building a school at the outskirts of Xinjiang area. So from there I learned the need of long distance management, because I want to help but it's too far away. So I ended up starting really looking into digital health, digital education, adopting what I used to dream of, having a mobile real estate back in 2004. So all these evolved into social enterprises that I'm now working on. So from Beautiful Life Development Plan as a foundation, after I go into China and started working with UNESCO, China Sustainable Development Education, I decided to rename my NGO into UN Education Science Cultural Health Advancement Foundation, so that I could actually share a lot of our UN values as a common goals for the China ground as well as the rest of the world.
Okay. I mean, that seems like just a wonderful little idea from someone who's had a very broad and very, very intellectual background. I mean, where do you think you're going to be going next with this idea?
I believe I want to use all that I think they are God-given, because most people that are more talented, I hope I am one of them, I think we are gifted. So I like to share that gift to more people. So I like to go into public education. So meaning some of the TV programs that I want to do it, especially through multimedia, maybe not so much always in front of the camera, but I would start planning a lot of TV programs so that the content can have a better outreach. Because the multimedia and all the cell phones nowadays, I think they're very influential for what we could help people with. So that's basically the infrastructure I will be focusing on.
And I mean, one of your big things, one of your big activities is of course is the next generation, and working with youth in business and in leadership, and also you're working in the fields of global cooperation. What impressions do you get of a coming generation that perhaps isn't really on our radar screens yet? What can we hope for from the next generation of the world's youth?
I definitely believe globalization is the way and almost the only way to go. Because kids of the new generation is even beyond what we can handle. Because they grow with little iPad since they are like a baby. Whereas for us, we are still learning every day. I think our mind works differently. So the lifestyle is going to change. What we used to see in the sci-fi movies, I think is coming through slowly, but people are learning and adapting into that direction for sure. So because of that, I think the whole world of connections is made different. The more we need global collaboration, because everything we do become not just ourselves. The whole world is a lot more accessible and a lot closer to us. Right now, it's not about what you said will make sense. Anybody can go up on internet and treat themselves as a media and start to talk whatever they think. So it's not anymore in the past where everything could be managed, whether as a nation or as a single family. It's just all into one big pot because of internet.
I mean, I'm also looking at this with the way that the internet's changing, and as you rightly say, things are moving so fast that we can't keep up with our own children anymore. They're already growing up into a world that we don't quite recognise. You know, my youth is an anachronism to today's youth. But I just wondered, is this kind of internet-enabled society making people naturally more cooperative, or is there a few kind of nudges along the way we can give to help them?
Well, I think, like I was saying this morning, to be able to collaborate, the first thing is you have to like the people you meet. I have to like you to be able to interact with you. I have to understand and like and appreciate so that you could actually work well together. Because the factor of liking is so important. And the liking comes from, it's not just about anything we see external. It's about a image. It's also about the underlying cultures and a reputation. If your country or your family or your school or your friends, your church, your organization has a certain reputation, it makes a big difference as to what kind of people you could actually feel close to. So therefore, I think internet is allowing us to get a lot of groups close together. To allow us having open conversation. You can basically choose any kind of social groups to be friends to. So that brings us all a natural grouping for collaborations. Yes.
And of course, the idea of our common shared humanity now perhaps might be a bit more of an ordinary day-to-day experience for the youth today, and of course their children in 20 years' time as well.
Well, yes, I think the children today, because they are so widely traveled, and children nowadays could go on internet and basically see a lot more than what we used to see those days. And even the video games are bringing them into a totally different dimension of imagination. So you could definitely expect children to reach out a lot easier, because what they see on internet so much, they will want to be there for life. So they want to see, I want to get to the North Pole. I want to go to the moon. I want to go visit China. I want to come to Russia. So I think all that is going to create anxiety to feel that they want to be in different locations. And once we start traveling, I think that's a natural call for new friendships. When you have more friends or international friends, it encourages you to collaborate, because no one can be totally self-sufficient, and there is so much to be shared. So once you can get over the hump of knowing each other, understanding well the culture, understanding that there is new opportunities, people will start collaborating. Maybe we will make mistakes in between. Maybe some will lose a little bit here and there along the way, but that's part of your tuition fee. So along the way does not matter whether it's the East coming to the West or the West going to the East, whatever direction, there's always a learning path. But once you get through it, the sky is blue.
Well, thank you very much for that. I mean, that is perhaps a vision that we're too busy looking at the negatives to see that in the positive, in what is happening with millions and millions of people and kids on the internet, is they're becoming part of a global world. They're running things kind of a little bit their own way, a little bit faster and a little bit further than perhaps people of my age can see. But thank you very much for that great reminder. And once again, it comes back down to it, is whatever there is, it's that connection, it's that
Yes.
empathy between
Yes.
people is what will make the whole world go round, virtually and in reality.
Yes, totally.
Great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.